So hey everyone, and welcome to another video on this Mercedes build, and today we're starting on the inside of this van. So in the last video we got the fan installed, we got the solar on the roof, we installed an awning, we installed our traction boards, and now we can finally start the inside of this build. So plan is to actually insulate the roof before we put up our cladding, which we've already got here outside. But we are currently waiting for insulation to arrive so that we can get this all done before we put up the roof. So we kind of jumped a step a wee bit. Let me show you what we did. So me and Rosie took a trip down to IKEA just to have a look, and we ended up buying a kitchen. So we did use IKEA kitchen in our last build as well. We got it from the discount section. It was just empty carcasses pretty much, and then we added the top and everything ourselves. But we really want this van to look good. We really want it to stand out. So we thought, you know what, we're going to go. It worked so well with the IKEA kitchen in the last one. Let's just go for a full IKEA kitchen in this one as well. So rather than sitting around waiting for insulation to arrive before we can start this, we're going to jump a step and we're going to build the kitchen. So as this is flat packed, we're going to need to make some space in here to be able to do it. It's raining outside as well, absolutely soaking. So that is the reason why Rosie has an army hat on, because she doesn't like getting rain on her hair. So we're going to take these seats out, or we're going to try and move the seats to the back here, clear up the room to clear all of this up so that we can then start unpacking everything and start building this kitchen. So the main thing that we need to do is get all these boxes open, take everything out, place it where it needs to be, then start following the instructions. So give us a minute to get this unloaded and then get started.
I know that you hold me close to you. Ooh, and
This is the table for the countertop that we've gone for. It's white, but it's got like I don't know if you can see it there, it's got a lovely nice design in it as well. Weird that it comes in box one because it's probably the most easiest one to scratch up. So we're going to stick it in the back and make sure it stays well covered, because this will be the last piece to go on.
talking on the phone, and you said that you're all alone, and you got something to say.
So that's everything for the kitchen unpacked. It doesn't actually seem like that much, but like every IKEA product, like Rosie was just pointing out there, they don't have numbers on them, so we're going by what they look like in the manual. So yeah, just in case you're wondering, the one that we've gone for is called the Knox Halt. It should be pretty decent size. It's 180 centimeters, which is another reason why we've got the layout the way we want it. Now, once we've got this kitchen installed, we'll be able to show you in a little bit more detail of what the vision of the layout for this van is. So, I'm not going to bore you guys with us putting together a flat pack kitchen. I'll put up a picture here of what it's supposed to look like, and let's see what it looks like when we're finished. So we'll see you in a minute. Right, so we're halfway there. Let's have a look. Here's the frame of what it's looking like just now. So all the frame is in and built. We haven't put the back on because we're not actually putting anything on the back because I want to have access to all of that. But let me show you what the plan is of how we actually want to work this out. So fridge is going to go here. It'll have a drawer underneath. This is just going to be, it's going to have a small drawer at the top here, and then it's going to be a cupboard underneath. And on the, it's a bit wet, I'm falling all over the place. Hold on. And then this final bun is where the sink's going to be. So this is just a cupboard that opens and closes, but we're going to have the sink here and everything else under there. So sink, fridge, and we're actually not going to have we're going with induction, but we're not going to have the induction stove that's built in. We're going to have a removable one that goes in the drawer so that we have more counter space. So now that the frame and everything's done, all we need to do now is start installing the hardware, such as the drawer slides, the hinges for the doors, and we can get this all done. It's moving really, really quickly. So after quite a bit of arguing between me and my wife, trying to get this thing together.
You know what? You should listen to your wife, Mike.
Don't ask me about my business.
No!
Let's just have a look at this finished kitchen. So let me show you the layout of what we've got so far. So this hole that's here is originally for an oven or something like that, but it actually fits our fridge that we're getting, our 12-volt compressor fridge, absolutely perfectly. It also allows us to have a really, really long drawer that comes out in the bottom of it. We've got another drawer here, which is really, really deep, so we can keep loads of stuff in there. We have got, I haven't put handles on this yet, we've got another cupboard underneath there, and another cupboard here. Now the reason that I haven't gone for soft shut or anything like that, I could change that later on, but let me show you what our plan for the layout is. So as I said, fridge is going to be going there. We're going to have the sink on this end piece, because we want to keep the drawer that we've got here, we want to keep this drawer, so we'll be able to put the sink in here, and all the piping and everything will come straight in the back up to there. We're going for induction again, but we're not actually going to have the induction stove built into here. We want to keep our surface area, so we're going to have it as removable. That'll go into one of these drawers, maybe the one underneath the fridge or this one here. So there's still some little fitment issues that I need to sort out here. So as you can see here, this doesn't go all the way back and actually leaves a bit of a gap behind here. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to trim this bit out here to allow the top to go back a little bit more, and then it'll just come up to that rubber on the window there, which will be fantastic, and then close everything in. We're going for a king size bed again, so with all of this, the bed should come up right up to the edge of the kitchen here. Well, actually probably just before it, because I'm going to be putting a divider in here as well, so it's perfect. So this is the Knox Halt kitchen from IKEA. It does come in other colours and other areas, and it was on offer for £170. Now when I built my kitchen in my last one, it cost me around probably just under £170 to build the whole thing. That was with the doors, furniture board and everything. I really couldn't see the difference, and tell you the truth, this is probably better than what I could ever actually make. So for £170, this is what we're going to be going for. It fits perfectly. I'll keep you updated on how it works. The only problem it doesn't come with any door handles or anything. So we're going to order some door handles up, probably the clip-in ones like they have in other camper vans, just to make sure that these things don't come flying open, and we'll see them in a later video. Now another thing we saw while we were at IKEA were these overhead cabinets. Let me show you them. So I can't remember the actual name of these, but I will put the link or the name up here so you guys can have a look at it, and I'll also put the link in the description below. But these were £45, and they come with the magnetic open and close. Okay. That locks in. Now obviously these are square, so they don't fit directly up onto the top of the van because of the angle of the van. So this is a little bit of an experiment to see if this will actually work. So what I've done is on this side, I have marked out the curvature of the van. I'm going to cut that there, cut a line straight across, and the same on the other side. I'm going to see if I can get this to fit. If I can get this to fit in here, then I've basically got an overhead storage for £45.
My God, that's amazing!
So I can go and buy another couple, and that's going to save me so much time, so much effort, and have a really, really nice finish as well.
You were just being lazy!
So I'm going to cut these up just now, and we'll see how it goes.
So when you're leaving tomorrow, just give me something to hold on to from you. And I'm your genie in a bottle.
Let's give it a go and see how it works. So this stuff is really, really light. It's not heavy at all, but I think fits quite nicely. Put it straight up there. I think it fits alright. So I think it's going to work, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it temporarily. Obviously this isn't exactly where it's going to be going, because I'm going to be putting this stuff back up along. So that is the shape that we've aimed for. So I'm going to attach it temporarily up, see how it looks, see if we can make it work. Let's give it a go and see. So that didn't work. Let me show you why. So what this is actually made of is a mixture of cardboard and wood. So there's parts like you see here that have got wood in it, but then there's parts here that are just, you know, there's wood there, then it's like cardboard, then there's a bit of wood here, and there's cardboard, wood, cardboard. So it's a mixture of both. So whenever I try to mount it up, the screws just go straight through it, it falls down, even though it's not that heavy. So I don't think that this is going to be a viable option for our overhead cupboards.
Congratulations on your epic fail!
Because I think at the moment I go over a big bump or something, it could rip through. I could put pieces of wood inside it to kind of strengthen it up, but then it takes up the space inside, and I don't think it's going to work. I think it's going to be easier for me just to make up some wall cabinets like I was going to do in the first place. But for 45 quid, it was worth trying and cutting it up. So at least you guys now know that this specific one, which I think is called, let me just remember it again, I put it in the last one, the IKEA one, probably great for your house, for your kitchen at home, for your bedroom, something like that, because it comes on a straight wall, it comes with mounting brackets and all this kind of stuff. Probably great for that, but unfortunately not for camper vans. So what we need to do now is just wait for the insulation to arrive, then I can get the cladding up on the roof, then we can go ahead and build the structure, which we will be doing in this video, so stay tuned for that.
Where's that delivery?
Right, so it's a couple of days later. The insulation has finally arrived, along with my 4-way stretch carpet. So the van is looking a little bit full. So I've got the recycled insulation for these cavities here at the top, and I've got this. It is 3 type of things. So it's got, basically it is foil in the top, then it's got a slight insulation, and it's got soundproofing on the bottom. So it's all in one row, we're just going to be going on the roof. The reason I'm using that stuff on the roof is because it is self-adhesive, so when I put it up it's going to stick. I don't need, it's me doing it myself, so anything that's going to make my life easier is going to be a lot better. So you can probably see from the roof here that I've gone around now and filled every single screw hole, every single screw that came through for anything we've bolted up on the roof has now been covered in Sikaflex. Reason for that is because we had a hell of a lot of rain the other day, and it seems like some of the rain has caused a leak. So it's just in two spots really, and it's right above where the screws had come through for that. So obviously I didn't put enough Sikaflex on the roof for it. I'd already put a little bit of that Gorilla Glue waterproofing on the inside, but I just kind of went over it slightly because I didn't think it was going to be a problem. But yeah, we had some heavy rain the other day, and good thing that we did, because we noticed this leak. So I've now gone around and I've smothered Sikaflex over every single screw that's come through for the solar panels. So we shouldn't have any more leaking from that at all. The good news is that the fan hasn't had a single leak on it, not a single one. We obviously used the mastic for that as well, which I think has really helped with that. So now that the insulation's here, we're going to start by insulating these cavities first. I'm going to give this Sikaflex a bit of time to set before I start putting everything up on the roof. So I'm going to start with the sides here. We'll get all the insulation in there. I'm going to do the bits at the bottom as well, but I'm going to do that later on. I'm just trying to get everything at the top finished now, so I can then start cladding this thing. Right, so in the walls we're going to be using this recycled plastic loft insulation. It's like a fleece, so it looks a bit fleecy. The good thing about this is it's not like the normal insulation you put in your lofts. It's not full of fiberglass. It's not going to make you all itchy or anything, but it's a one way to get everything in there. You know, a lot of people are saying I should use Kingspan, and I'm not using the Kingspan. The reason for that is, one, Kingspan is really expensive, or Celtec, or whatever it is you're using. Those fiber boards, you know, fantastic. If you can afford to use them, then definitely use them, because they're fantastic. It's a lot of money for what I need to be doing, and to tell you the truth, I'm fighting an empty battle here. So I'm fighting a losing battle, I should say. I've only got the roof, these sides and at the bottom to insulate, and I've got the van is just covered in windows. Right, so we've got the insulation, we've got the tape, we've got the foil, so let's just get started and get this done.
So when you're leaving tomorrow, just give me something to hold on to from you. And I'm your genie in a bottle, and I know that you hold me close to you. Ooh, and I'll make all your wishes come true.
Right, so as you can see, we have filled all the cavities all the way around up to here. Anyway, we haven't done the sliding door yet. The sliding door's at the back here, but I've got some things I need to do on that anyway before we do it. So all of these all the way around are now filled with the fleece, the insulation fleece. Now you probably saw from, I don't know if you saw from the video there that I was doing, I was just basically going in and pushing everything up as far as I could go, as far down, as far across, filling every single cavity, so there's absolutely nothing that's empty. Now, next part, this is where it's a little bit harder. That was quite easy. It was actually quite satisfying to do that actually. Next thing we've got to do is we're now going to get this insulation foil. It's going to act like a vapor barrier, and we're going to put the vapor barrier all over the top of it. That is going to be a little bit harder because I've got to cut it all to shape, because it's 1.2 meters long I don't need 1.2 meters. The other good thing is that it only took one roll of that insulation foam, insulation fleece to do the whole top of the van. So for reference, if you guys are doing this as well, one roll will do the whole top of the van. Obviously I've got windows, so if you were going to be doing that side as well, it'd be a little bit different. But I've got another roll there. They come in 6 meter rolls. I'm hoping that 6 meter roll will be enough to do the bottom as well. So when we get to do the bottom, we'll have a look and see. I think because the bottom's slightly bigger, I may need another roll, but I'll probably only use about half of it. So there you go. So obviously this is 1.2 meters long. We only need to cover this top bit. We're not going all the way down past the windows, and that's only 39 centimeters, or 390 mil if you work it that way. So 40. But if I start cutting little bit, it's going to take forever. So what I'm going to try and do is measure up 40 on here and go through it with a grinder. I don't know if this is going to work. This may be an absolutely stupid idea, but we'll give it a go. We'll see if it works.
Oh my God, Dad, you lost your hand!
Right, so that was extremely unorthodox, but the good thing is that it doesn't kick out anything, and it actually cut it. Saves me having to go through the whole thing. Now I know that that's just one roll that goes right across. There you go, it worked. So what we've done is we've taken contact adhesive, we have sprayed glue all over from the beginning all the way around, and then we've stuck this up. I wanted to do this so I could get it all in one constant piece, so there's no breaks or anything in there as well that could kind of defy the purpose of having a vapor barrier. So it's all stuck up, all in one piece, all the way around. But now what we've got to do is we're going to go around with the foil tape, and we're going to tape up every single corner, every single edge, anywhere where there's been, or I've had to cut it to get it in here. We're going to tape it and seal it all up, so it's all one piece in the end. Let's get on that.
This'll only take a second.
So, insulation for the side of these walls now are all done. So, they have been fleeced, vapor barriered, and then we've gone along every single seam and sealed it all in with the foil tape. So, that's all the way around here, all the way along the van. Wherever anything was connecting up, we have sealed it all in. So now I'm going to have a wee break, and then we're going to get started on this roof.
We're gonna take a short break. Be back in 5.
So I thought I had filmed how I did this, but for some reason I forgot to press record. Rookie mistake. But let me show you how I did this. So we took the 3-way insulation, which I got here, which is sound deadening, insulation and vapor barrier all in one. And what we did is we put it up on the roof, in between each of the ribs here, just like you would do with the Celtic or Kingspan. And to tell you the truth, it actually cuts very similar to that, not as rigid, but cuts just as easily as that. So filled that in, then with the vapor barrier that I had left over from doing the side of the walls, I had loads of it left over, so I just decided to put that on top of it as well. So now that I've done all of that, put the vapor barrier on top of the vapor, so it's double vapor barrier now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Then I've gone along with the foil tape and I've sealed every single join. Every single join. So now it is all as one, all one piece. So thank God now that's all done, and I'm glad I got that silicone and everything on as well before the rain started again, so we shouldn't have any more further leaks. Everything's sealed up nicely. Now all we need to do is get some wooden battens that are going to go up here, along this side, along all of these ribs that are on here. Then we'll come along and start putting up the cladding. So it's raining now. I'm not going to be able to cut the cladding or anything just now, so we're going to wait another day now until we can actually go and do the cladding. So see you in a bit when it's better weather.
And we will be back.
Hey, so it's another day and we are back in the van. It's been about probably a week since we last talked. It'll only be a few seconds for you guys. It's been about a week pretty much since then. The weather up here has been absolutely terrible. I did manage to get in little bits, but I just had to get it done in between times, so I didn't really film a lot. But let me show you what I've done so far. So as you can see now, I've come in and I've put in all the battens all the way along, ready to accept up our cladding. Done that all the way this way as well. The way that I've done this is I've got this thin, I'm not even sure how big it is to tell you the truth, but it is a little bit flexible, obviously, because there is a slight curvature to this roof. So I pre-drilled, countersunk as well, and then I just pushed up into the middle and then in the sides to get the shape that I needed, and I bolted them all up with self-tapping screws right into the ribs of the van that were coming up here. They're really, really strong. They're not going anywhere. What I also did is I ran all the wires for our lights that are going up. So I'm going to have 4 lights that are going up in a line here, right down the middle. Obviously the fan has got its own LED lights built into it, but I don't really want to have to turn them on all the time. They are really, really bright. So yeah, we're going to have 4 lights that are here. I've also ran the power for the fan, so that's ready to go. And I've ran all the wires to here. Now I did make a slight mistake. When I jumped the gun and I insulated everything from here. The problem I had is that when I went to then put the wires up, I couldn't just daisy chain them along like I wanted to, because the wire would come underneath this wood, and then when I went to put the cladding up, it wouldn't go flush. So what I've had to do is basically run one wire to here, run another wire to there, and vice versa all the way to the end, and then connect them all at the end there. So it does work, but I've wasted a lot of wire doing that. So remember for yourselves as well, when you are going to run these wires, run them before you insulate. That way you're not getting blocked by this wood. So the problem I've got now is because we had so much rain over the last few days, all of the cladding has been outside because I've got nowhere to store it. So all the cladding is absolutely soaking wet, which is a problem because I can't put it into the van while it's wet. So we need to leave it for a few days, hopefully now that we've got this good beautiful sun out in Scotland, which is very, very rare, and let that dry before I put it up. I need to get it done sooner rather than later, because otherwise it'll start to warp and mold, and I don't really want that to happen either. So unfortunately we're not going to be able to get the cladding up in this video, but we'll get it up in the next video. So because I've been waiting on that, I jumped another step, and I started doing the carpeting. So as you can see here, anywhere where it had white that you're going to see, I've now carpeted this top here. I'll have a look so you can have a comparison. That's what it looked like previously, and that is what it looks like now. So all I'm using is this anthracite 4-way stretch auto carpet. This is my first attempt at doing this. I've never done it before, and I did mess up a little bit, so you can see there's some white lines where I've cut it too high. Same over here. So it's not perfect. I wasn't expecting it to be perfect, but the good news is that we're going to have curtains up on these anyway, all the way around, so you shouldn't really see these at all. anything that you see at the bottom, you're not going to see. The bed comes right up to here, and everything else gets covered. And on this side, it's the same thing. The whole thing is going to get covered by that kitchen, so all you're going to see are the tops. So since I can't get the roof done, let's get this other side of the van done with the carpet, and then hopefully that stuff will dry, and then we can, on the next video, we can get this thing cladded. I'm also cladding the sides as well, which is why they are empty as well, but I still have to put battens up on the side so we can batten them up.
Suddenly I fell apart. It was solved by a broken heart, and nobody seemed to care. I heard you talking on the phone, and you said that you're all alone, and you got something to say, and you got something to show. And now you're lying in my bed, and some thoughts run through my head, and they feel so different from here. And California in the sun is a good place to start from. I'll be the one to carry you up to the stars and reconstruct your broken heart. So when you're leaving tomorrow, just give me something to hold on to from you.
Right, so that's one out of the two done. Went on quite nicely. For some reason, for the life of me, I can't cut a straight line. So as you can see, you still get some white bits down there, but I haven't figured out what I'm going to do there. I'm going to see if maybe I can get a black pen or something in there and hide it. You're not going to see most of it because we're going to have the curtain rails and everything on there, but I know it's there and it's annoying me, so I'm going to try again on the next one and see if I can cut a straighter line. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. Right, let me finish this other one, and then we'll have a look and see what's happening with the van. And as you can hear, this is the reason why it takes so long to get anything done. It's absolutely pouring down. And then just 2 minutes later, it stops again. But that is the problem. Every time I think that it's a good day and we can get started cutting stuff, and then the wood ends up looking like this. Now, this wood was given to me by my neighbour who works in construction, and this was left over because the wood itself, you know, isn't straight, it's kind of bent, which is why it was given away for free. So I don't mind it getting a little wet because it's going to make it easier for me when I'm putting it in, when it's still a little bit in it, so I can twist it to the way I need it. But it needs to be a lot drier than that before I can get it in, which is why we've been delayed getting this roof up. But we've got a hell of a lot of stuff done this week for this van, so let me show you what we've done. So walk in, say we've got our finished IKEA kitchen. We got all the walls carpeted all the way around. Now remember I told you that I wasn't really good at cutting these in and having white bits, so what I've done is I've just cut little bits of carpet and then kind of fed it in to there as well, so you can't even really see any of the white bits either, and that's all the way around. I also got the Skorva beams from IKEA. I got these yesterday on Facebook Marketplace for £45. So you guys know that these beams are £20 each from IKEA, and about £9.99 for a pair of the brackets. So £45 for 4 beams and 4 pairs of brackets. Had to get them. So that's them in now as well, which kind of shows the size of this bed, of how big the bed's actually going to be and where everything's going to line up to. So even though we didn't get the roof up, which is what the plan was in this video at the end, was to actually get the roof up and then get some cabinets in as well, unfortunately we didn't get to that part, but that will be happening in the next video. I'm trying to see if my friend is able to store this wood for me inside so we can let it dry out properly, so hopefully in the next few days I'll be able to come pick it up and get it in. But even with that setback, I think we did really well. This past couple of weeks with this van, we've done a lot. The van is moving forward really quickly. I didn't think that I would have bed frames in already, or even a kitchen, so it's brilliant. It's moving really quickly and I'm liking the outcome so far. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the content, then please consider subscribing, drop a like, drop a comment. If there's anything you think I've done wrong, then please drop a comment below, let me know what's happening. I'm always up for learning. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one.
Different from here.